In today's video, I'm going to talk about common misconceptions that many first-time teachers or new teachers have about being assigned to live and work in a small city, and why I think that this can be one of the most rewarding experiences when it comes to living and working abroad. Hi everyone, my name is Leah. If you are interested in what life looks like living and working abroad, this channel's for you. So, you've sent in an application, you have a contract, and you have just found out that you have been placed in a city so small that the population of chickens is higher than the population of people. Not only that, but you've also found out in your school that you're going to be the only foreign English teacher. I just want to share maybe a different perspective of things that I have learned about being assigned to a small city and working in a small school. If you've been assigned to a small city, I would first ask you to define what your definition of a small city is. In Taiwan, Taipei is the biggest and usually most sought after city when teaching English. But when you think about a small city, what about a city that's just under 1 million people? That's where my city, small city, Tainan comes in. All of these cities have a population that is equal to Tainan. The district that I teach in within Tainan has 46,000 people. Still is not as big as Taipei, but it's not as small as what some people think a small city is. A lot of times what I see is people will go to another country, but they want to be tethered to something that is familiar so they don't have to go too far out of their box. And one of the easiest things that you can do to do this is staying in a large expat community. You may not talk to a single person, but just knowing that you can turn the corner and you can see another person from your country that's there gives you this sense of security that you don't have to go too far out of your box to acclimate to your new environment. It's the same as saying, I'm gonna travel to another country, but when I get there, I'm not gonna try the food, I'm just gonna eat McDonald's and chicken strips. Why even go? There are so many advantages in being the only foreign English teacher in your school. Working at 3 different schools has also given me the opportunity to explore how the hierarchy culture works here in Taiwan. And I feel like in turn that allows me to have a really great relationship with all 3 schools that I teach at. What I have found is in schools where there's a large number of foreign teachers, kind of distracts you from having to build that organic relationship with the people that you work with. It gives you an out. It's one thing to go to someone just to vent. It's another thing to go there to complain about something that reasonably may be resolved with your co-teacher or with your administrators if you were able to talk to them. If you have this fallback of being able to have a group of people to complain to, you never resolve those issues. The other advantage that you have on being the only foreign English teacher in your school is that you are not compared to other teachers. And yes, this is very common. Yes, you are your own person. Yes, you have your own teaching style. Yes, you may even connect well with the students. But if there is a teacher that is favored at that school, you might be compared to them. My schools do not have access to the same amount of funding that may be given to a similar school with the same amount of students in a larger city. The city students have access to English teachers several times a week, if not every day. Whereas I literally only see all of my students 1 time a week. You can definitely be assigned to a school where students have a high level of English in general and be just as fulfilled. But I had to stop and ask myself, do I want an easy job or do I want a rewarding job that makes me a better teacher? I've got to experience some of the coolest things dealing with the Taiwanese culture that I don't think necessarily would have happened if I had taught at a larger school. If you've been following me on YouTube or Instagram, you know that this is my borderline obsession. The 10 drum competition. I think this is so stinking awesome. I watch them in between classes I watch how they progress before they actually go to competition. Like just seeing and hearing the drums and looking at the coordination. I'm like, don't drop the flag! Don't embarrass me. Don't embarrass me. I've been here for every practice. We need to win these competitions. The fastest way to immerse yourself in learning about a culture is through language and having a language partner. Learning the language here, at least with a tutor, can cost anywhere between 300 NTD and sometimes more if you really have a highly rated and highly sought after tutor. That means budgeting that money. That means allocating time to include like travel time, study time, or you could learn by going to the kindergartner class. Don't knock it till you try it. In Taiwan, children start school as early as 3 years old. They are learning how to chunk certain phrases together and how to put sentence structures together, just like you would be if you were paying someone 1,000 NTD an hour to learn. And sitting in the kindergarten class, it's free. The price that I pay for my 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment is the price that I would pay for a studio in a larger city like Taipei. My food costs are lower, and I can't prove it, but I think in the smaller cities, my fruits and vegetables are better than the larger cities. Really, depending on what country you go to, there's often times where smaller cities actually offer more pay with more negotiable contracts because no one wants to go out there. My city is in the heart of, well, nowhere. But if you didn't live here, you would not know about the parks, hiking, and the attractions that are only unique to this area. Living in a smaller city can also introduce you to new hobbies or new experiences that you necessarily would not have known about had you not lived here. But traveling and living outside of the expat haven gives you an opportunity to build rapport with your local community. There's a lady. I shop exclusively at her stall because somewhere in my head, I think that she has the best prices and that she has the best fruits and vegetables. And she is my involuntary language partner / drill sergeant. But she won't let me buy anything unless I ask her about it in Chinese. But personally, I think she sends out a hunting party to look for me as soon as I park my bike. And she says, 你想要什么? And I think I say, 我要生菜，一公斤苹果，2个西瓜。No, 2个西瓜，香蕉和西兰花. At least, that's what I think I'm saying. I'm sure I'm butchering it. Then I pay her, and then she will not give me my change unless I tell her how much I'm expecting back in Chinese. So, I hate her and I love her all at the same time. I also feel like there's this stigma behind these people who speak English that think that they don't need to learn any other language because everybody wants to learn English. It's kind of arrogant. I think you should expand yourself. So in my city, I am less than a 15-minute walk or a 5-minute motorcycle ride to the train station that will take us everywhere across this island. We have buses, but our bus system obviously is not as large or as thorough as it would be if you were, say, in Taipei or in Tainan proper. So you have to find unique ways to getting around, and one of these things that you can challenge yourself to do is to learn how to ride a motorbike or a motorcycle. This is the perfect opportunity to do that because you are living in a country where, unlike America, you don't have to take training courses in order to ride a motorbike or a motorcycle. You don't need to apply for a special license or special registrations.
Yeah, not to mention, it is so much fun.
To be contracted to live and work in a small city gives you an opportunity to expand yourself in ways that you don't even know is possible yet because you're not giving yourself the opportunity to do so. If there are other questions that I can answer for you, please leave them in the comment box below. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video.